me and Hannah met when me and Jimmy Needles, the drummer from the band, we were at university together in a band, and we walked past the university chapel and heard gospel singing, and we needed some backing singers for our band at the time. So we went in and we met some people at this choir, and then the next day I got an email from the woman who was standing at the front leading the choir, who we didn't think about asking, and it was Hannah.
I ended up being one of the backing singers in this band after this hilarious miscommunication situation. And yeah, it was great fun. It was such an absolute giggle. And the band, Jackson and the Spangles, like, it came to an end when like 3 or 4 of the members...
When Hannah arrived.
Yeah, I was
We tried to kick her out.
I was the last nail in the coffin. And a heart that's real and a heart that's true. Nick basically came up to me like the day after the last gig to say, so I've got loads of soul music, I'd quite like you to be the singer. I loved you for who you were, not for... So he played me a few tracks. We had a crazy summer where you lived on my couch for a couple of weeks, didn't you? And we'd just get up in the morning and play lots of music and write lyrics together. And
then once we realised that we could write a certain style, we binned all of those songs and changed the band names.
Good stuff.
We changed the band names so that no one would know that it was us. And then we started again. It was pretty good after that. And then we contacted Record Kicks and said, do you want to sign us? And they did. I've always been a writer, but I think when I was like 14, my brother had a guitar and I picked it up, and that was the first time when I realised that I could write music. I learnt one chord. I only learnt one chord, and I made a tune and I played it to my mother, who's a music teacher, and she pretended that it was good. It was about the moon, I think. I think it's about the moon. And anytime I learn one chord, I always want to write more music. I went to a talent competition at the university, and this is where I met Jimmy Needles, who still drums for Hannah Williams and the Tastemakers right now. And that's where we met. And then we started our own band, and then when I met Han, then that was a good time to write soul.
My first encounter with music was pretty much as soon as I was born. My dad was the most amazing musician. My grandmother was an amazing musician. She led choirs and taught singing, and all the way through the war, the Second World War. And my mother also was musical. She, back in the day, she did backing vocals and sung for Cliff Richard, which is totally uncool, but never mind. But yeah, so I was kind of born into this life of music being everywhere. You made us change way back when we were 5. I learned pretty much well, everything I know about harmony and the delivery of music and, you know, the homogeny of singing with other people and, you know, for the various different theories about music at a really very young age through the church, through singing in the church choir. I just learnt so much there. And I still go back to that now, even though I'm 30 and singing soul music and funk music. It's kind of the principles that I learnt when I was a kid are still totally and utterly, you know, they're in my blood, they're ingrained. But you couldn't tame your mind. Yeah, I guess music was not only just going to be a part of my life, but basically it was the only career I could possibly have chosen because I don't know how to do anything else. You know, I can cook, but that's about it. But yeah, I had a short period where I felt like I wanted to be an opera singer, and then I found cigarettes and alcohol and partying, and that kind of went out the window a little bit. When the curtain falls and the last note is struck, who in the world do I wake up for? And to who do I make my love? I cried for you in the forest, bared my soul, but nobody heard. I cried 1,000 songs, they all rolled into one, but now I can't remember a single word. Music stopped and the world keeps spinning round. I think that you and I should work it out. Come on, baby. Let's work it out. It was a difficult process recording that album. Obviously, it was our debut. It's our first ever album, and you know, you're kind of feeling your way through it. There's no real formula to making soul music, you know, well, or any type of music really, and being able to record it and make a good album. It's something that you learn and you have to, you know, jump over a lot of hurdles to get there. When it's clear you lost your love for me and you lust for another girl's touch, well, who's gonna clean your mess, put you to bed when you've been drinking too much? We had so many limits on what we could do because we had a tiny budget, tiny amount of money, and basically 5 days in the studio to make an entire album. So it meant that we needed every single musician to be killer, like to know exactly what they're doing, just get in there and do it and like deliver what we needed them to deliver. And by some total miracle, like it did actually work. I'm hoping any moment I'll wait to find this has all been a dream. You roll over in your king-size bed, baby. I'm your sleephead, I'm your sleephead queen. Music stops and the world keeps spinning round. I think that you and I should work it out. we got sort of 80% of the album done in those 5 days in a studio in Winchester, where our good friend Ben Startup, who was our producer, worked day and night to make everything work for us, and it was an incredible experience.
I think that we should work it out. This is a man's world.
I got into music through DJing at school. I met Nicholas 6-7 years later at university in a talent competition in which he beat me in. And then we formed the backing band. Basically, we asked Doug to join. He's our bass player right there.
I owned a bass guitar. I didn't know how to play it. I turned up for practice. I was going to my last university. I was thinking, I need to do my studies, need to work really hard. And then I heard Hannah sing for the first time and I was like, the studies can wait. I was asked to do a gig with this other band and Jimmy, and we turned up and we were supporting the Tastemakers. And I remember actually looking over at the band, watching them play after we finished our set and thinking I would actually really like to do that. I was asked to come along and play keyboards shortly after that gig, after I told Nick that I play keyboards and he was looking for a keyboard player. So I joined the band and came in. It was about
I first started playing music when I was about 8 or 9. I started playing the violin, and then I think when I was about 10, my sister joined a traditional brass band, and I really wanted to join it as well. I was classically trained and I played for a brass band, so the band trained me up, which has been a really good experience. And I've played music that I've never played before.
I met Hannah Williams and the Tastemakers near my town in Cisternino. I was happy to see that they have got a entire horn female sections. We keep in touch, and Nick told me, joking, how a saxophonist is leaving us, so it's a pity that you are not living in England. And I said, well, it's not too far from Italy, England, so I can take a flight and enjoy the band.